So, I'll be cooking pot pie. Well, soon there'll be stuff in this. So it's going to be a chicken pot pie. Now, I've already pre-prepared all the ingredients. I know lots of me kind of chopping stuff up. So I've got one large, like extra large breasted chicken, just diced up into bite-sized pieces. Then we've got a couple of stalks of celery, sliced up, so just down the middle and then chopped. In this one I'm going to be doing adding some parsley to it, just for a bit of a extra flavour. This is one medium-sized red capsicum, just finely diced up. Normally it calls for like one large carrot, but the carrots I had were quite small, so this is like 3 small carrots, just nicely sliced. They don't have to be too small, so about bite-sized pieces. Then we've got then it calls for one large potato to be cut up. This is just 2 medium-sized potatoes sliced up, again just into cubes, because it's going into the pot pie. And then got one large, this was quite large, brown onion. Just chopped up, not fine, just large chops, because once it's in the pan it starts sweating down, it actually loosens right up and gets a nice size. This is 400 mils of chicken stock or chicken broth. This is the broth that I made in one of the previous videos. So it's just one of the containers that has been in the fridge, so it's going to add lots of flavour. Let's say around about 200 mils of cream. So this is thickened cream. So normally if you're using, say, a normal cream, you're looking at the 250 mils, but being thicker cream and some of the extra bits that I've put in there, the liquids all mixed together. Got around 40 grams of just plain flour. So it doesn't have to be sifted, so it's just this is what's going to help make or thicken the sauce. Good old pepper and salt. 50 grams of butter, because that's going to help cook obviously everything. I've got puff pastry, so I've just got the store-bought puff pastry, and that'll obviously be the top. And then to make it nice and crispy on top with that, I've got an egg wash. So that's just one medium-sized egg with about a tablespoon of water just whisked up. And we'll use that later on to give a nice crust to our chicken pot pie. But in the meantime, it's time to get these ingredients into the pan so that we can then get them into the pot or into the dish, and then in the oven, which is already sitting on around about 180 degrees, heating up in the background. Okay, so it's now time to saute our vegetables. I've got the pan on already. So we'll get the 50 grams of butter going. Nice little sizzle as they melt. So we're going to get our vegetables in there. We'll start with our onions. Capsicum in there. Our potatoes, celery, carrot, and at this point, just so the flavours get going, we'll put the parsley in as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix these around with that butter. So if the pan's on about a medium-sized heat, we're just going to saute these vegetables for about 10 minutes. So that just means they'll start to just get softened up, not so raw. And then when we come back after 10 minutes of them being on the pan, we'll then add the flour and then start adding some of the wet ingredients as well, and then the chicken. So the chicken effectively will actually poach in the liquid rather than actually frying it directly. And then once that's all together, then we get onto the baking bit. So I'll see you in 10 minutes. So it's been about 10 minutes, and so all those vegetables are just nicely cooked rich in colour. So what we're going to add now, we're going to add our flour. We add our flour and just mix it through, coats all the vegetables. This is going to form the basis of our roux. Let's give it a quick coat. So it's just absorbing into any moisture that's in there from the vegetables. And so what we're going to do now that that's coated, so it's giving itself a nice little coat on all the vegetables, we're going to add in our wet ingredients. So in goes our cream, and in goes our chicken. Oh, it smells sensational. Just pour it into the cup that the cream came in, just so I get all the cream out. There we go. Let's just stir that through. And that nice colour, it just gives that nice gravy that'll be in the pie. And again, it's the chicken will basically poach itself in this liquid. Give it a nice stir through. And you can see the colour as well. That's partly from the flavour of everything that's been scraped off the bottom of the pan, from the vegetables, the chicken stock, and obviously just mixing with the cream. It's a nice, beautiful, beautiful colour. Alright, just lining up this nicely. So what we'll do, pinch of salt, we'll crack some pepper into it. And now it's time to add in the chicken. So I've turned the temperature down. There it goes, just turning it down. Alright, stir those flavours in. It's smelling really, really nice. And we'll add our chicken. In it all goes. The plate nearly falls off the bench, off to the side. We'll stir this through. So now the chicken will start to cook. So give it a good stir, break it all up. And we'll give that about 5 minutes. And so because the chicken is cut into smaller pieces, it won't take too long to start to cook through. And the thing about it as well is that it's going to cook in the oven anyway. So once it's done from here and we put the pastry on it, it's then got up to another 40 minutes in the oven, and that'll finish off all that cooking. So don't be too worried that you're putting raw chicken into the heat here. But it's just looking really, really nice. The smell at the moment is fantastic as well. So we'll give that a couple more minutes and then we'll come back, and they should be basically, the chicken should be pretty much cooked to the point where we're ready to take it across and put it into the pie pan. So it's only been a couple of minutes and that chicken is pretty much all done its first cook. It's all nicely done. It's gone from being that lucent colour that it is when it's raw to being that nice kind of firm colour. Tastes really nice. So what we're going to do now is take this off the heat, to turn off the heat. I'm going to take this across to the pie plate, and we're going to put it in the pie plate, and then the fun bit begins in terms of actually moving the puff pastry over the top and then putting it in the oven. So let's take this back over to the bench and get it in the pie dish. So here we are. So we've got our pie dish and our chicken is here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this obviously in the pie dish, scrape it all down, so put it all in there, making sure we get all that filling. That smells good. Scraping it all off, so pretty much you're cleaning the pan with the spatula as we get it all out. There we go. Let's just smooth this down. If you're making like a seafood pie, it's pretty much the same kind of base recipe, except for instead of putting like things like fish, like salmon and prawn in the mixture, you're, say with this one, you're just putting the chicken in there. So you can pretty much make it, I say the same recipe base can be used for a couple of different types of white meat. So there we go. A little jiggle. Let's settle. Just make sure it's nice and smooth because we just want a nice even level under there, ready for when we put the crust on. And then we get the puff pastry. We're going to use a couple of pieces of puff pastry because it's just going to reach over the top. And push it down. I've got a second piece here as well, just out of camera. It's, when you buy it, it's frozen, and so it's just been sitting while we've been cooking, just sitting on the bench. Just loosened it up enough. And just peel the non-stick pieces off there, and now we can stretch it out over the top. So now it's time to do the egg wash. This is what gives it a nice crispy golden top. Get that all over there. If you wanted to make it extra special or pretty, you can get some toasted sesame seeds and sprinkle them over the top. Or if you've got some chia seeds, get that nice little colour, so give it a good coating. Nice and even. I say, because it's just going to get a nice, beautiful golden crust on top of it. There you go. Okay, so this is ready to go in the oven behind me. I'd say that was preheated to about 180 degrees. This is now going to go in there for up to around 40 minutes, basically until this top is nice and crusty and golden. So time to put it in the oven, and when we come back, hopefully, fingers crossed, we have a nice crusty top on it and beautiful pie to boot. So it's been 40 minutes and the pie is done. Nice flaky pastry, it's puffed right up as well. You can see the nice golden colours. I just grabbed the camera. Look at this. Yum. Starting to fall a little bit down as the heat comes out of it, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is let this stand now, because it's going to be very, very hot inside. Once it's cooled down a little bit, we'll then crack it open and have a taste. Yum.